Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we are in a 2016 Nissan Altima SR. This is the new package for this year. It's sporty and actually feels sporty, which is a little bit unusual. And just a few changes on the interior. It doesn't change a whole ton of things, but it does change a few things that are kind of cool. So you can see on the steering wheel, it's about the same as a standard Altima. You have your source stuff over here, so your controls that control a little bit of what's going on up there and a lot of what's going on over there. And you have your cruise control over here. This is a pretty basic car, so there's no adaptive cruise or anything like that. But you do notice the paddle shifting. Paddle shifting is it's an option in several versions of this car, but it is standard in this sport package, this SR package. Lighting up here, windshield and wipers and whatnot over here. And we usually start over here, but we started with the steering wheel this time. So doors, windows, and mirrors over here. Here's your trip and dimmers. So, well, and I should point out, you can release the trunk down there and your traction control right there. So on the instrument cluster in this sport version, there isn't a whole lot of difference, except when you drop it into Drive Sport, it holds that CVT up higher, which I believe it does in the standard models as well. But it holds it up in the I want to say the 1600 RPM range. I'm gonna say, which gives you a little more oomph, gives you a little more power and speed, and a faster response when you hit the throttle. Up here there are several different things that can be shown. I've been leaving it here. You can see what I've gotten in 245 miles. I've gotten about 29 miles a gallon on average, and or over 485 miles of counting. It's averaged 29.2. I really like this car in terms of what I'm getting for fuel economy. You can see my average speed was only 41, so there's been a good mix. It's not all highway driving. Pulling decent numbers for the altitude. You have to remember we're at 5,400 feet here. So that's pretty decent. I am not going to complain about that at all. Over here, of course, speedometer, fuel, engine heat. And then the infotainment in this is pretty basic, and but it has Bluetooth audio and AM, FM, etc. You can step up from this package to another package that has a better infotainment screen. This is not a touch screen or anything. It's a very basic one. But for, I think, most buyers, this is probably what you'll end up with. Down here you have, of course, your presets and then your climate controls. So with climate control, it's also pretty basic. There's no auto or anything in here. Again, you can step up packages and get that, but it is not in this one. Down in the cubby here, you see you have your aux port and USB, and over here's a 12 volt. Then you have your shifter. Here's that drive mode I was talking about. So you pull the trigger and you can go all the way down. And if you pull, you have to hold the trigger down to get all the way into that one. And this is my not a product placement. Anyway, dashboard, fairly plain but soft plastic. The noise in here is pretty good. So I like the noise control in this car. It's been pretty good. Even on the highway, it's not too loud. Much better than some of the competition, like I don't want to name names, but Corolla. This is a much quieter car than a Corolla, which is a surprise because Toyota did a lot of work on that Corolla, but this is quieter on the inside, I think. This is part of the deal with the SR package. So these are cloth seats, but they're very, very quality cloth. We see these throughout the Nissan line. You see something similar, but you notice the blue stitching, which matches the blue on the exterior of this car. And then this is just nicely, very easy to clean and non-slip. And I don't know why there's a bunch of stuff on it, but anyway, non-slip. You don't move around in this seat a lot. Bolstering is just about right for a car like this. Nicely done. Turning in the back, you can see I have car seats installed, and in the back, the roominess is very good for this class. I really like it. The kids are not cramped back there. They can kick the seat if they really want to when the seat's all the way back like it is here, but it's just much more space than I expected. Nicely done, and a good sized trunk. This car has a very good sized trunk. So that's the interior assessment here. It's a pretty basic car, but it's not a very expensive car either. So that's my interior assessment of the 2016 Nissan Altima SR model. Really enjoyed this car. It's been a good driver. It's fun to drive without being a true sports car, of course, but it's a fun little car to drive. And it just does well, and it has a really good look. So for Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, we'll talk to you again soon.